Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling what might be the single biggest flaw holding back generative AI. It's knowledge. But more importantly, we're going to look at the brilliant and surprisingly simple solution that's already fixing it. So, to really get this, let's rewind a bit. Think back to that moment that honestly changed everything, when Steve Jobs got on stage and introduced the iPhone, right? He wasn't just showing off some cool new gadget. No, he was revealing a totally new way of interacting with the world by squishing three separate devices into one single thing. Well, guess what? We're living through a moment just like that right now. Generative AI. It's that same kind of seismic shift. It's completely changing the game for how we interact with information itself. And the parallel here, it's just so perfect. The iPhone took a bunch of different devices and put them into one. Generative AI? It's taking all the different ways we find information and collapsing them into a single, simple conversation. It's the same story, a huge leap forward in both simplicity and power. Okay, so how in the world does this AI actually get what we're asking it? It feels like magic, right? But it's not. It's just math. It's all about taking the messy, beautiful, chaotic thing we call language and turning it into something a computer can actually crunch. The key idea here is something called embeddings. And the best way to think about it is like this. Every single word gets translated into a long, long string of numbers. It's like giving each word its own unique numerical fingerprint, a code that captures its meaning and how it relates to every other word. And this is where it gets really cool. In practice, words that have similar meanings, like, say, fruit and pear, end up with really similar numerical fingerprints. Their number codes, or vectors, are close to each other in a mathematical sense. But a word like car, totally different vector. It's way off in another part of this number space. The distance between the numbers is the distance between the meanings. That's the secret. But wait, it gets even crazier. Because it's all math, you can literally do equations with words. Check this out. If you take the number code for father and you subtract the code for man, and then you add the code for woman, the number you get is almost identical to the number code for mother. It's wild. So, here's the big takeaway. The AI doesn't understand meaning like you and I do, with feelings and memories. Nope. It just models the mathematical relationships between words. Language, to an AI, is just this giant interconnected web of numbers. Okay, so this system is incredible, right? It's powerful. But it has a couple of really big, kind of hidden flaws. And if we ever want to trust these things for anything truly important, we have got to face these problems head on. And these issues are no joke. Problem one, an AI's knowledge is basically frozen in time. It knows nothing about the world after its last training day. Problem two, it can hallucinate, which is a nice way of saying it just makes stuff up, but says it with complete confidence. And if that's not enough, retraining them costs a fortune, and you can't really control who sees what private data is baked into the model. Yeah, that making stuff up thing, it has a name, hallucination. It's when the AI gives you an answer that sounds totally right, super confident, perfectly plausible, but it's just flat out wrong. And honestly, this is the single biggest reason we can't just blindly trust these models for important work. So that leaves us with this massive question, right? What good is this brilliant AI, this genius at understanding language, if its knowledge is out of date or sometimes just plain wrong? How do we fix this huge knowledge gap? All right, let's get to the solution. Because what engineers have come up with is, well, it's just as elegant as it is powerful. The idea is, instead of trying to cram everything into the AI's brain, what if we just gave it a cheat sheet right at the moment it needs it? This clever technique is called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or just RAG for short. And you can seriously just think of it like giving the AI an open book test. Instead of making it try to remember every single fact from its giant frozen memory, we just let it look up the answer first. So here's how it works, step by step. You ask a question, but instead of the question going straight to the big AI brain, the system does something else first. It does a quick search on a private, up-to-date knowledge base, like a company's internal documents. It finds the relevant info, and then it hands that info to the AI and basically says, okay, now answer the question, but you can only use these facts I just gave you. And the difference this makes? It's night and day. Without RAG, if you ask about, say, your company's new leave policy, the AI just shrugs and gives you a generic answer. Well, I don't know, but generally companies, useless. But with RAG, it can actually look at the latest employee handbook, pull the exact details, and give you a perfect, accurate, and even sourced answer. And, this whole cheat sheet idea, it's not just some clever little hack. It has huge implications. This is the key. This is how we transform these amazing but flawed technologies into tools we can actually truly trust. Think about it. This is a total game changer. Suddenly, the AI's knowledge can be updated all the time, no expensive retraining needed. Those scary hallucinations, they're way less of a problem because the answers are grounded in real, verifiable facts. And you get traceability. It can cite its sources, so you can check its work. And maybe most importantly, your private data stays private. It's used for a moment to answer a question, but it's not being used to train the big core AI model. So when you line RAG up against the other ways of trying to teach an AI new things, its benefits just pop. I mean, training a model from scratch or even just fine-tuning it, that's hugely expensive and takes forever. RAG, on the other hand, is a super low-cost way to get what we all actually want in the first place, answers that are factual, up-to-date, and that we can actually verify. And all this leads to a really fundamental shift in how we should probably think about AI intelligence. Maybe the future of trustworthy AI isn't about building one giant model that knows everything. Maybe it's about building models that are just brilliant at one thing, learning on demand. So the question we should be asking isn't just what does the AI know, but how quickly and how reliably can it learn something new?